new petition. All right? Rivalry weekend, because Fox wants to make that a big noon kickoff. And thank God it has to be, because I ain't trying to see that game be played in November at 10 o'clock up there in the north. We don't need that being a night game. It's plenty cold up there. It's plenty miserable. So if Fox insists on being big noon kickoff, then I insist the SEC window close and college football window close every single rivalry weekend with the Iron Bowl. Night game mandatory has to be. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the way it ought to be. I think we ought to open our Saturday rivalry, our final weekend of college football. I think we ought to open that sucker like a Christmas Day a present with the game at noon and just put ourselves to bed nice and snug as a football fan with the Iron Bowl at night. Can I get big dubs in the chat for that take? I think that's a good one. I think that's a mandatory take moving forward. Night Bowl or mid-noon kickoff, the game. Night Bowl, Iron Bowl, wrap it up. I think that's what we ought to do. So where should we start? Let's start with the game. Let's do that. All right, we're gonna bebop around. All right, with this one, we're gonna start with the game. We're gonna go to the Iron Bowl. We might come back to Friday. We're gonna bounce around, boys. So lock in. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Like, subscribe, and rate, reviewing. I always get way too ADHD on this Sunday show, so I'm gonna go ahead and give shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. If you have not already, head over to Sleeper today. Use promo code Brooks, get a 100% deposit match, okay? Again, promo code Brooks. Sleeper is the #1 fantasy and sports gaming app focused on bringing people together. All right, head over there today. Get in on the action using promo code Brooks, 100% deposit match, up to $100, all right? Just enter more than or less than on favorite keynote players and key stats in key football games or basketball games, baseball games, whatever your fix is. Head over to Sleeper today, promo code Brooks. All right, let's get after it. Let's start with the game. Ohio State rolls 27-9. Here's my take on this one, and I know it's Big North football, and I know it's Big Ten football, and I know weather's just as much of a role and just as much of what they consider to be postseason, late end of the year football as anybody else. Oh, they play in the elements in the NFL. Every NFL owner that possibly can build a new stadium right now is building it indoors. So if that game were played indoors, I think Ohio State wins 54-17. If that game weren't in the middle of a snow flurry and it be 10 degrees and wind howling and all the nonsense, I think Ohio State rolls 54-17, 48-17, whatever it may be. I think they thump them. But how about the start of that football game, right? Start of that football game got your boy getting tagged in old takes exposed because, God forbid, I watched the first quarter and I'm like, damn, Michigan got the football, and albeit it was a 36-yard run, longest run Ohio State's allowed all damn year because the Big Ten offenses can't summon a damn thing against these boys because they're that good defensively. 36-yard run, settle for a field goal. Boom, Julian saying pick. First time they touch it. Hell, first play that they touch it. I'm like, uh-oh. There is a mental first 10 minutes of that football game. You're like, damn, here we go again. Oh, here we go again. Back at the big house. We might not win, whatever the rap lyrics are. Hey, thought it was going to be again. Oh, here we go again. Like Michigan, mental hurdle. What's going on here? Nope. And what really should have let us know as a viewing audience member that game was probably going to end up getting relatively ugly for Michigan, and it was going to be an Ohio State win, is the fact that they got what essentially equated to, due to the explosive run and due to the short field created by a turnover, they had two opportunities in plus territory and couldn't summon anything worth of an explosive. Couldn't summon anything worth of, all right, let's capitalize. So it was going to be, hey, if you're going to score 17 points today, Michigan's going to have to steal 5 short fields. That's what it was going to be. Like, y'all, and I understand Ohio State's defense is incredible. They're the best defense in the sport for my money. Second, Oklahoma. Couldn't even find a third. Honest to God, like we're probably going to Texas Tech, Georgia range when we're talking about third best defense. Oregon, we're probably going into that range of defense. And I think there is a plethora of holes in those arguments for either of those defenses, right? Like, that's how good these two are. So when you get the ball in those areas of the field, and we know points are at a premium, and we know it's going to be really hard to not only move the football, but really, really hard to score today when we're settling for field goals, it's going to get ugly. It's not going to end well for us because, again, we're going to have 5 short fields to even score 17 points. And that means eventually we just got to have the best defensive performance of our life today at Michigan against what is the best offense in college football, or we're going to lose this game how we lost it, right? 27-9. And that's exactly what ended up happening, right? Eventually, they just started to pick apart Michigan's secondary. And I think that's our next point that we need to talk about. The design against the too high look to get Carnell Tate that wide open was immaculate. And we know that everyone playing Ohio State is going to do their best to take away Jeremiah Smith, and the only way to do that is to double team him. And then they're going to do their best to try to live on islands elsewhere, and then they're going to do their best to try to get after the quarterback. That's the only answer, right? Hey, we got to make them one-dimensional today. So we're going to have to take away Bo Jackson in the run game, and they had a better run game than we imagined today, so that's a problem. Hey, we got to take away Jeremiah Smith. So that means we got to double team him. That means everybody else pretty much is one-on-one. All right. So now we got to make sure we don't get beat by Carnell Tate. All right. But also we got to figure out how to get after the quarterback. So they couldn't stop the run. They did a good enough job taking away Jeremiah Smith, even though he had a touchdown. Don't get me started on saving the whales with the return on that call. I'm not here for losing game by, it was 17, 18 points, being dominated for 4 quarters, basically. Let's call it 3 quarters, being dominated by 3 quarters and be like, well, shit, if the refs would have just gave us that one call, maybe things would have been different. Let's not do that today, shall we? Anyways, couldn't run the ball or allowing Ohio State to run the ball. Jeremiah Smith ultimately impacting the football game, despite the fact that you're doing everything you can to take him out of it. Can't get after the quarterback, and Carnell Tate's getting loose. Loss, gonna lose. Don't tell me about, what if it was a touchback? You would have got the ball back at the 20 and punted the football to them 4 plays later. Shut up. Don't do that to me. We all watched that football game. We all know Ohio State was about to just squeeze you for 4 quarters. So I don't want to be doing the whoa is me. What happens if the referees save us? No, let's not do that. I still don't think they are tested, right? Like everybody outside of college football or outside of Ohio State has had this take and should have this take. I think Ohio State's the best team in the country, but I don't know because they haven't been tested in a 4th quarter football game. They ain't going to get it. I think they're going to take Indiana for a walk next week, but that's for a later discussion. Anyways, that ain't it. That's adversity. That ain't a test. They got put into 1st quarter adversity. That was not a test. Michigan is so one-dimensional offensively, and they can't. And then that one, they couldn't run the ball. Negative 10 yards rushing in the second half of that football game. So, that's not a test. That's adversity. And to their credit, they are the best team in college football by a margin. I don't know if it's a wide margin. They're the best team in college football that has not been tested. They got their first bit of adversity, all right, since August 30th, and stared it right in the face and didn't even dare to look flappable. I thought the offensive line was the most impressive performance or impressive part of that performance, because it wasn't like Michigan didn't try. Michigan tried to throw everything at them, through the kitchen sink in terms of simulateds and pressures at them, and they picked it all up. Did they have a free runner one all day on Julian Sayin? I don't think they did. He did a great job playing really, really calm and competitive from within the pocket. I think it's 22 or 29, whatever the stat sheet was. Tremendous job. But tips to the O-line. Tips to the O-line for making sure that kid played clean for 4 quarters, because he did. So there's that. Hand up. I got to admit, I like to admit when I'm wrong. I don't know about anybody else, especially when it comes to player evaluation, because I think I'm really, really good at player evaluation. In fact, if you're a coach listening to me today and you're a buddy of mine, I probably already told you that one day I might aspire to be a college football general manager or might aspire to be the director of player personnel at one of these fine establishments. Wouldn't mind it. It's about player identification, developing relationships, and helping develop young men. I'm all about that, baby. I'd be all about that. And in fact, I think I'd crush it. And I'm going to do something that somebody that would apply for one of those jobs would never do, because scouts will never admit when they're wrong. Scouts will always excuse away as to why they were wrong. But hand up to God, no way I thought Caden McDonald was going to be this. And he went to high school 30 minutes from this damn studio. Caden McDonald is about to be the number one nose tackle drafted in the NFL draft in a year, or in the spring. He is going to be the number one defensive tackle taking up off the board. Never did I think that was going to be it. I thought Caden McDonald was going to be a really, really, really good college football player, because I thought he was a really, 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 really great high school football player here in the state of Georgia. Did I ever think he was going to be this type of athlete at 326 pounds? Hell no. Did I ever think he was going to grow an inch and a half and become 6'3"? No, because he was about 6'1", 305 pounds, really sawed off in high school at North Gwinnett. Did I think he was going to be a rotational 3-year player at Ohio State? Yep. Did I think he was going to be a 2-year difference maker? Nope. This guy, wrong. That guy, great. What you can never develop or bank on, what you can never project, in my opinion, is how hard a kid's going to work and ultimately how much better he's going to get. You can't place a true factor and a true analysis point on that. You can't. And for that matter, I think they've done a very similar thing with Edric Houston. So I was wrong on guys that are from this state that, by the way, the program in this state was wrong on as well. Because Ohio State came into this place and took Caden McDonald when Georgia, I don't think really 100% wanted to. And they took Edric Houston when I know for a fact Georgia didn't really want to. And those guys are going to play meaningful minutes down this stretch in college football playoff time. And they're going to play damn good ball. So there you go. You can't hit on them all. You can't miss on them all. All that good stuff, that's a miss. That's a miss by me. When a player in 7A is that damn good for that damn long, you don't doubt it. You don't. You just say, hey, bottom line, great college football player. He's going to be really, really good. Don't know if he'll be a first-round draft pick, but it don't matter. By the way, getting really, really, really great college football players is the job. The job is not to get first-round draft picks every time you pick and stick. The job is to get really, really great football players every time you pick. Hey, we'll take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the number one place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts. Share with your friends and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper.